Well, good
Hi,
evening, everyone.
nice to see you, Stano.
Wow, what a nice evening. Seeing all the beautiful colors. I was just seeing how she's preparing us for so much. And people are just becoming awake to knowing her again. And that's what she's been waiting for. And I'm grateful that we have this opportunity of sharing more of uniting her with all of us again. And so it's awesome to have this. So, with that, I like to just say welcome to everyone that is here tonight. And I hope that you're enjoying this evening as much as we are by being together. And so I want to just say welcome. And I'm looking forward to this evening. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Jody.
Oh, well, I'm navigating a little bit here. I'm multitasking, but that comes very natural to me, as you know. It's so nice to see you both here, and the reason I mean the reason we're doing this too is because we've had a lot of requests, and I'm just honored to be in this circle and to be able to have this opportunity to bring such beautiful women and voices and knowledge, wisdom to this space. And like you said, Grandma Renee, to just be able to share, um, you know, the wonders and the beauty that the grandmother moon provides for us on days like today, and even days before and after. So I'm really honored to be here with you and Grandmother Gail. It's nice to see you. I'm going to pop
Hello.
out of the room though and help bring Grandmother Susan on here too. So
Okay.
be from here. Yeah.
Yo. Oh, Sego Sego Fuego. So nice to see everyone this evening. And of course, one of the names for this moon is Leaves Are Falling Moon. And again, just like nature, just like all aspects of nature, it's so beautiful to see a different beauty. I mean, each season brings us into, I guess you would call it this beauty. And each of the moons, they also are named because of what usually transpires during, those certain moons. So the leaves are falling moon means that now it's time to take in the beautiful nature because as the leaves turn, you can tell what trees are what, and that's one of the beautiful things too I like about this moon is you can see the hickory nut trees and you can see the maple trees and the that beautiful sumac. Wow, it's such a beautiful red sumac. And so Grandma Moon is also expressing the the energy of the different aspects that happen during each moon change as well. And again, every day is a day to take a moon bath. And that moon bath is all about just closing your eyes and opening your arms and just allowing that moon to send that healing energy, just to let it go right through you, to have that direct conversation with grandma, to heal, to give thanks, to enjoy, to be at peace, to live in beauty, all of those things associated with this moon. So, I guess what we'll do, I don't know, Miss Renee, would you like to maybe do a little opening?
Yes, thank you. So, sego, se what guego, gana disa young gets. Wagatsioni, agonia de hene. I said, Ganadisa is what they call me, and I was mentioning that I'm so happy to meet you. And one of the things that we always do is to remind ourselves how much we are loved. And I think by doing the opening address, it really resonates our heart and our spirit together because it lets us know that we are really loved for and we're really cared for. And so at this time, I'm going to kind of, I asked permission. I had the fire burning because we have a lot that are on this new path. And so I'll kind of just explain what we do is we always gather to put our minds together and bring peace back into your body. And so at this time, I'll take take 3 deep breaths because we're getting ready for ceremony. And when we get ready for ceremony, we bring in all the ancestors and we bring in that good mind and clear our minds because our minds have been so busy. And so at this time, you'll just close your eyes and just take in that deep breath. You can smell the fall, the leaves, the fragrance of fall. You can smell the nightness. You can smell all the wonders of what is going to unfold. You take that another deep breath. You can smell the flames. You can smell the fiery. You can smell the medicines. But most of all, you can smell the water. Now you take that next deep breath. Ah. And that's what the peacemaker said when he left. He had given us our instruction, and he said, I will be a breath away from you. And so I always look at that third breath as being that of the creator, of the peacemaker, of grounding ourselves so that whatever unfolds is a gift from our loved ones that have journeyed on. And so at this time we acknowledge this original instruction. And we do that by acknowledging each and every one of you that is here tonight because we have been doing ceremonies for this evening for the waking of the spirit. And so we say thank you for being here. We send blessings off to all your families and to your loved ones and to your communities and to all those that are in need of a prayer, support, guidance, and healing. We send off that prayer. And so now we look and we see that we have taken care of those that are here. And so we have, as they say, we have brushed all those that that heaviness that you may have been carrying. And so we wrap you in his words of love. And so now we look and we see our mother, the earth. Oh, what a magnificent mother. She's been here for many, many, many generations and she's still showing her love, even though many have forgotten how to show their love back to her. She still continues to show her love. And because of her love, we have all this bounty of, as they say, everything that we need to help us get through a day. And so we look around and we see all the wonders of her love. We see all the beauty, the colors, the fragrance, all these things that in the sounds. She gives us these gifts to help us when we're being tested. And so we acknowledge each and every one of them. We acknowledge the gift of that grass, how gentle it is at this time. We feel that gentleness of all these things. We feel the fragrance as it seeps into us. And so we say thank you. We can smell all these gifts that she has given us. We look and we see even the animals that have come to acknowledge this time. And so we give thanks to all those that have gathered, the winged ones, the fin ones, the two-legged, the four-legged, the crawlers. And we look and we see that they are still honoring her and they give thanks. And so now we look and we see all the medicines that has been here that she had put forward so that any time that we would need of support, it is there for us to use. And so we give thanks. Now we look and we see all the sustenance, all the medicine that we call our food. You see, our medicine was our food once upon a time, and our medicine, as we say, our food was our medicine, and our medicine is our food. And so we looked upon that and say we give thanks for all those seeds that are still following their instruction. We look and we see all the shrubs and all those plant lives, how they have contributed to the wellness of the continuation of life. And so we give thanks. We look and we see all the trees. Oh, they're so magnificent. Each of them in many families, each of them supporting us and giving us what we need. But most of all, they are giving us the very essence of a very special gift, and that is called oxygen. They are taking away all the negativity and returning it with much love. And so we give thanks. We look and we see even the birds that have sang their song. The evening song was sung. And so it told us that nighttime was coming and our grandmother would be showing her face. And so we give thanks to those two, as they say, leader of the night and leader of the daytime. The nighttime star, the morning star, and we give thanks because the birds have kept their watch and they watch over us. And now we look and we see how many that have gathered and honor her tonight. And so we look and we see even the water that is in all of us, how we are moved just by her presence. We feel the overwhelming feeling of emotionals, a lot of emotions. And so it is our grandmother. Tonight she is calling upon us to clean ourselves, to release all that heaviness and that grief that we're carrying. And so let us forever be grateful that she's still performing her duty, and that is the waters. And so we give thanks to the water that she had brought forward to here to the earth and has assigned it to become from that stream to a creek to a river to a lake to an ocean and return back to the sky world to be renewed so that we can always be taken care of. She has given the different seasons so that we would always be more resilient. She has brought change, and so we are very grateful that tonight we are seeing the change of being prepared for the time of quietness, silence, because in that time the winter was given so that the family would all be together. And so we give thanks. We look and we see all these magnificent things. She is still fulfilling that. And so we give thanks. For now we see the eldest brother, the son that watches over us. And it is so rewarding that we are never alone. We have never been abandoned. We have never been forsaken. For they take their turns watching over us and shine upon their love to us. And so we are very grateful. And then we turn it over to our grandmother who has visited us now at this time. And we like to acknowledge and give thanks. For she has been assigned to, because she has gone through all those trials and tribulations, just like we have done. And so this is her duty, is to bring forth that water, to release the hurt and the pain that we feel. And so let it be in our minds to be forever grateful. We look and we see her helpers, the stars, and all they are showing their magnificence. And from them, they have left their stories so that we can again look up into the sky world and remember our role and our responsibility. Now we look and we see all these magnificent things, and now we hear the thunder beings. They have made their voice being heard, and so it is time that they also bring the waters that is needed for the life givers. And so we say thank you to them, and we give thanks to the lightning because our mother the earth also needs that energy that comes from the sky world. So we give thanks. We look and we see the four beings, the guardians, the watchers, and so we give thanks that they are still taking care of us. They bring us forth to this physical plane, and then they come again when it's time for us to return back to the spiritual world. And so we give thanks. And in our lives, there has always been someone that has shown, I would say in this way, a mentor, someone that has seemed to be there when we needed them most. It may be a memory, it may be a thought, but whatever it was given to us to support us on our journey, and so we give thanks. We had one that we call Scanadilio, and he was a man that had, that is what I really appreciate. What he showed was a male, a human being that has fallen from grace, but had the opportunity to make change to himself. And so we look around and we see there are many that have made changes to their life. And so at this time, we'll acknowledge those that have come forward to help to create a better world. And so we look and we see all these magnificent helpers to guide us on our journey. And so we give thanks for this special, special time of gathering and know that it was created by by the one that all this was created by the one that had a lot of love, unconditional love in the gift of creating us and the creation. And so we give thanks. Oho, nyawa, miigwech. And that is how we became very, as they say, lightened. And that's what our people are missing, is that high, that that flow of energy. And every time I do that, giving thanks, I elevate myself to that place. I just feel so much love from all creation, and especially our mother the earth, I mean our grandmother the moon, and our mother the earth. And so I'm going to share this one that was given to me. When the first mother returned to her heavenly power, she left a token of remembrance, and that was the moon, so that her children may know her may know always that she watches over them, even when she cannot be seen. Some nations call her the old woman who never dies. Isn't that amazing? Someone is always watching over you. And every one of us needs a grandma. Every one of us needs that support and that guidance. And so when was given this, I thought, wow, it directly came from her to share with you, and so I share this with you tonight. And so I'm going to turn it over to Gail now.
Um, oh my gosh. Always such beautiful words, you just sit there and you listen and you can't help but feel that love and compassion. And so many of us at times in our life really need that love and compassion. You can really hear it in the words, Grandma, as you speak, because again, you're a reflection of that wisdom and that beauty that we get through years and years and years of experience and shining bright. The the more aged we get, the brighter we shine, it seems, because we've overcome our challenges and we get past, all of those little things that tend to pull you down. So I guess this moon is kind of special because it focuses on, the trees and the changing seasons. And so my name means to throw a lasso over the forest and to draw it in. And so this is the time of the year that, in all its splendor, you can actually see that process. So you can witness the trees as they come to life in the spring. You can witness the trees as they go through their cycles, and you can witness the trees as they humbly, during the summertime and the spring and the fall, they humbly give and give and give. So they're giving beauty, but more than beauty, some trees give nuts and fruits and berries and, sustenance all through the year. And just like us, our minds get to the point where, hey, we need to rest. And so when that darkness falls and those days become um, darker and darker and darker, it's because we need that beautiful rest. And so the trees reflect that. So they shed their leaves, and as they do so, they do it in such a loving way, because the foliage is then used by all those little critters as they get ready to surround themselves with the beautiful blanket of, that beautiful snow that's coming and the frost that's coming. And they just get ready and they just get prepared to uh, do their duties and to provide. And when we're talking about the forest, those roots, they connect for miles and miles and miles. So the oak tree here connects with the oak tree, the next town, in the next province, in the next state, in the next country, and it goes round and round. So an oak tree here connects with the oak tree in Poland, and when you really look at that connection, the grandma moon, she shines bright, and as she nourishes all of those beautiful standing trees, we feel it. We feel that love. We really feel that connection, and and there's a joy. There's a joy, and it's kind of signifies also the coming of the end of our life. Sometimes, there's a beauty in it, and it's not something that we need to be afraid of, because there's a beautiful ending to all. And then we get revived in the spring. So, if it was our time to go, well, then in next thing you know, there's for myself, I have lots of grandchildren, and the bloodline still continues to grow and to be nourished. So those trees also talk about, the commitment to family and how beautiful family is, and how you're never alone. So even though our trees are going through this major destruction right now, they are still connected, just like we are connected as human beings to all human beings. All trees are connected that way as well. And I've seen some really beautiful pictures about, that connection, how the energy moves and how the energy flows. And it's, again, those pictures represent lots of love and lots of beauty. And so sometimes, I think of that word beauty because it comes in so many different ways. So tonight, you look up to that nighttime sky and you can see her. She's shining bright, and that beauty, because you can see the energy if you really look close, and you stand and you look at her, our beautiful grandma, you can see that energy that surrounds her. And that energy that surrounds her, we connect with that just simply by allowing that energy to be. And so the moon reflects on us, and we also carry that beautiful, beautiful energy around us. So in a way, we all glow together. And I think that's such a beautiful picture, to see us all glowing together. So usually when we do our full moon ceremonies, and we're allowed to be outside, and we're allowed to all be together for that. The fire is the central source of our being, and that fire again helps us to shine as well. That fire that connects us also connects with the energy of that beautiful moonlight, and the fire sings, and grandma sings, and there's just like this beautiful creation that happens just simply by being or surrounded that by that fire, offering your tobacco or your medicine to that fire, and just talking to that fire because you're talking to grandma and making those offerings to her. And again, there are many times that we ask for things and we don't know how to give back. It's like we want this, we want this, we want this, but really it's like we give thanks for, we give thanks for, we give thanks for this, and this, and that's reflected in our Thanksgiving address. That helped to open tonight. And so the words of love, the words of beauty, the words of connection, the words of energy, they're all very powerful words that they go hand in hand every single day of our life. And sometimes that energy isn't as bright, and that's because sometimes it doesn't need to be that bright. So the full moon is always about gathering that, I guess you would call it, gathering and experiencing and coming to fulfillment all that you have done since the last new moon. So the last full moon. So now that we get to enjoy the full moon, the moon will start to wane. And that means that it's a new day, and it's a new day for our prayers and for our thanks and for those cycles to continue. So we start that place of putting together what it is that we're seeking, and then when the next full moon comes, we have that manifestation that can happen. So sometimes it's just a little prayer, sometimes it's a big prayer, sometimes it's health, sometimes it's healing others, sometimes it's personal healing, sometimes it's you know helping with your mind, getting your mind back on track. But whatever it is, now is the time. So the best way that I have found was simply to just stand with the essence. You put your head towards grandma, and you just open your hands. You take some nice deep breaths, And as you do so, you feel that that something. I'm going to call it something because that something is so powerful. There's not just one word that's going to describe that something that you feel when you just allow that to happen. And it's kind of like it. The energy comes and it just kind of like smudges you and it just kind of wipes you clean, and it kind of like brushes your eyes, and it just helps to comb out your hair, to get rid of thoughts, and to balance your thoughts again, and to get rid of those tangles that hinder us. As we brush through those tangles, wow, we feel so much better. Sorry about that. Musical interruption there. I thought I had my phone off. I guess not. But it takes me, bringing me back here to our program tonight. So, was there anything you'd like to add? Oh, wow!
Woo!
There she is.
We did it. We did it.
Poor Jody. It's
Patience.
amazing.
Oh,
Welcome.
we did
Uh,
it.
interesting.
So wonderful to see you, Grandma Susan,
Thank
and
you,
the
Jody, for your patience.
beautiful words. I had the grandmas in the background with their words, and I had Susan going through, the motions, and she's like, "Oh, thank you so much," and I really is just listening to you two just share, the
Thank
magic.
you.
That's what I
Yeah.
really feel, these words and what you all share, just this way of knowing that we can be taken care of. We take care of ourselves when we can think in this way and know that we're provided for just by the energies that the Creator and Mother Earth provides for us. It's just, and I'm so happy to see you here,
Beautiful.
Susan. So
Thank you.
now I'm just going to sit in the back room and navigate the conversation. So, I mean, you all can see the comments on the right-hand side if you want to take a look at those as you're sharing this evening. So thank you for being here. Nyawa.
Thank you so much, Jody. Thank you.
Well,
I always forget about simple things like comments. Like, I didn't even see that over there. I'm glad Jody reminds us all the time, because we do this 1,000 times, and always simple little things that we don't do. So, Susan, it looks like there's still sunshine where you are.
It looks like what? It looks like what?
Yeah, you
What
still
does it
have
look
some
like?
sunlight coming through.
Oh, no, those are bright lights
Yeah.
behind me. They're actually coconut
Oh,
trees.
that's what I see. Oh, trees.
Dreaming
Wow.
of coconuts.
I thought you were right under the moon.
Oh, yeah, that'll be happening soon. It comes in the front window, going across the front of the house. It's going to be nice. It's very nice. I love what you guys shared already. Thank you, Gail, for sharing that about the moon. It's beautiful. I'm sorry it took so long to get in. I don't know what that was all about. I couldn't get Google or anything, Chrome. So I think that whatever it is that we have to say together is going to be really strong, because of the difficulties of getting it all meshed. You know what I'm saying? It's always a challenge. That means good stuff.
I think it's especially powerful because what we hear in the news, and it's a lot of worries on a lot of people. What can manifest, but with the
Yeah.
power of us all gathering together and wishing for peace, we can
Yes.
overcome that that flow that's happening right now. And this is what we want to send out to the people. I know there's a lot of worries. And so when we get together like this, especially with Grandmother Moon, like Susan said, miracles,
Yeah.
powerful things can manifest. And so with all of us together tonight, and that good place of remembering love, and even to the one that is troubled and that can make these decisions, we can send over that love. And this is what we forget, we have a power. And just like Grandmother Moon sends us love from the sky, we can project it out to those that are in need of a prayer and love and support. And so when we gather around the fire, this is our fire. It's coming from our heart. And
Yes.
we send it out to all those that are troubled right now, that can make decisions that can cause a lot of harm. And so we're just going to send out lots of love with you, everyone that is here tonight. You are those embers that we put together for this fire of love.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So, Susan, take it away.
Well, when it comes to peace, we have had quite a few things happening this year. This is the year for peace, as we know, and as it's escalating, as things escalate, being able to maintain our balance is so critical at this time. And it's because I feel that there are so many others who are influenced by us, by our being in balance. Even if, I don't know if you guys have run into this, but even walking through the store and you can hear someone, maybe their voice is raised and it's a negative, and you just catch their eye and you smile, and you say, "Oh, I love your hair." Or, "Oh, your smile is so pretty." Bam, all of a sudden it shifts. It shifts. And I think that it keeps moving forward that way. And I think it's a matter of our stepping outside of ourselves, which is a message from Grandmother Moon, especially because this is the Hunter Moon. So we should be actively out there looking for opportunities, I believe, to create peace. So we have something that's been going on. I'm just going to share this because this is really interesting, I think, that in Auschwitz, and Gail, I thought about you throughout this whole time when they've been talking about this because of the experiences that we had when we were in Poland. And some of them were really powerful, right? Like when we went to Mount Schlenza, and we had no idea what we were going to expect when we got there. And there we were with several hundred people who had climbed 2.5 hours up a path to get there. And that was about the Mayan fire. And as we sent that fire out, remember how it started across Europe, across Turtle Island? It went out to New Zealand, to Hawaii and New Zealand. Remember that? We didn't know any of that, did we? And that's my whole point. I think we don't recognize what a powerful influence we can have when it comes to creating peace if we choose to be peace ourselves. So I think that doesn't mean that we don't get firm. Nobody wants to be around a firm grandmother, right? But hey, it's still our responsibility. Anyway, but what I wanted to share with you is that they have been doing this experience in Auschwitz where they are building a birthing center at the concentration camp. And we talked about that. I think, Gail, you and I talked about that, about the possibility of going there. But then I was told very clearly that the people there need to be the ones to do the clearing of that pain, and that was very interesting. And I was told that we have enough to do in our own yard. And then Karen Sparrow, who you may know, another grandmother, she said that Frank Foolscrow had said one step at a time in our own backyard. So where it seems really frustrating that we've been shut down and had to stay home, in a way, it's been very powerful because that's where our work is, isn't it? I hope I'm making sense.
Well, you sure are, because we've done our work and the borders just opened. So
Yay! I can't
amazing.
wait.
I know. I was like, oh, and so Grandma Renee's already had the opportunity to go across, and so we're not grounded anymore.
That
We
is
can
so
fly.
important. It's so important. Yeah. I can't wait for you to come here. And I know that there are many others that can't wait for you to come too. So start looking at that little calendar, and we'll definitely bring everybody together when you come, because it's time. We
It
have,
is.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah, we
October
can.
is a very special month for me because it seems like a great change has happened in my life, and I had a lot of, as they say, growing up, getting through challenges and everything. But I was so grateful that we have Creation Story, and I think about, if this woman can get through, if that woman can get through a lot of this worldly stuff, I should be able to get through it. And so, when I see October, I see myself as becoming that butterfly that, you're in this cocoon we
Yes.
think we are, and then to see how you look back on all those life experiences and how it really made a great change in your life. And I look at it as time of elevating us, because this is when the moon is so close to our mother, the earth. It's just like a grandma knows when her daughter needs her help, or her
Mhm.
granddaughters. And so there was a time when I was feeling so overwhelmed, and I just went outside, and I just had that urge to just cry, because there was so much bottled up inside. And I put my head down, and I cried, and I said to Jatake, Grandma, I need your help, Grandma. I need your help to get through this right now. And it just seemed like, look up, look up. And I looked up, and because there was tears in my eyes, and it just seemed like whoosh, it was like the star, I mean, the stars just seemed to have extended from the sky world, and it just embraced me, just like Gail had mentioned about being embracing that power of love. And it was just like I felt it, and I
Mhm.
just felt so much love. And I knew she heard my prayers. And so I'm very happy that we're here tonight as grandmas,
Mhm.
because grandmas can say, I've done it, I've been there, and
Mhm.
I am today. And that's what we need to hear from our grandmothers, because our children, our grandchildren need that they can get through. And you know what? We never once thought we could be traveling as much as we do today.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. My goodness, the world goes round and round and round, and I'm so glad that we have, the opportunity to be on it. And
Mhm.
this time of year, it's a really special time of year. We had harvest ceremonies at Longhouse not long ago, and now they do Gaihuio, which is kind of like, I guess the best way to describe it is they go from longhouse to longhouse, and they share the teachings of Handsome Lake. So
Mhm.
Handsome Lake was a prophet, and a lot of people didn't want to believe the visions he had, because he was almost on his way out, and because of alcoholism, and his work wasn't done, and he started to have very powerful visions about this time. And so it talks about those prophecies and those words that he was given. And again, there's always conflict. People don't want to believe this, people don't want to believe that. But when you sit and you listen, and you hear, that those teachings, something resonates within you, whether you believe or not. There's something that happens. And then so um, we always have to close things up by about 4 o'clock, and then after that, then there's a supper, and then of course then there's a what that we call a social. And so kids love socials. Well, we all love socials.
Mhm.
You just simply dance. So they play songs, and you get out there and you show your best moves off. And the we finish our socials with a song called the stick dance,
Yes.
and the stick
Ah,
really makes you dance your heart out, for that last dance. And so my grandkids say, "Oh, we can't leave until they do stick dance," And so sometimes it's like, "Oh, please, I just gotta leave." No, 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 they're gonna do stick dance. And so I know. Then they just give her, and so it's also the time too where now we're getting ready for our ceremonies, our medicine ceremonies, and so my young children, they're practicing. Their hearts are into these ceremonies, and they're out there and they're practicing their words and their songs and their dances, and there's something about the way that they do it that just puts chills up your spine because it's so beautiful. And again, all of this is a result of the energy of those moons. The energy of the moon dictates when our
mhm.
ceremonies start, when our ceremonies end. And so right now it's a very powerful time, that we're in Guy Wheel here at Six Nations. They're here now. So I guess I just want to put it out there that one of the things that really help us to dance, and while we can't dance right now, we certainly can certainly in our minds, as we hear songs, I can dance really good when I'm driving down the road too, just kind of giving her. Sometimes people might wonder what the heck is that crazy woman doing, but I'm just sitting there and just I can sing really good too. When I'm, let me tell you, boy,
Yeah,
join a band, I can sing so good when I'm by
that's
myself.
it. That's it.
But then it's like, you sing? Oh, yeah. So it's amazing. All of these things that we have to entertain us, to keep us uh, inspired. To keep us happy. Because remember, you know, we are looking for happiness. If we have to put words to, what we want this to be about, we're looking to be happy. And so we can get that simply by being in the glow of our company, being in the glow of the moonlight, being in the glow of the energy of all that surrounds us. And we're in a time like I my there have been some loss within the last couple of days for a couple friends of mine, and so
Oh,
I'm also reading here, that Don, you lost your brother. He's on his journey, and so we have to look at how have we been able to cycle here so many times, and how have we been able to deal with that loss when it comes? Well, we would look at it as a time of happiness for those that have traveled, those that are traveling to the light. So we know that they're gone to a place, and we need to be happy for them. Our hearts hurt and our hearts miss them, but the same's going to happen for us before we know it. So we have to learn how to find that happiness and put that peace within all experiences that we have throughout our lifetime. So for all of you that are going through a tough time, as grandmas say, you know that you have the love of the grandmothers, and Grandma Moon is certainly our that powerful grandmother who can just hug you in that beautiful light right now, just like a starry blanket, and
mhm.
can kind of like take those pains and give you that hug that you need, let you cry, and just let you know that everything will be okay and everything will be all right. And that it is a beautiful thing. So I just wanted to put those words out here. Really, take heart in the beautiful time. I mean, they get to travel the full moon, and when we sometimes our teachings and our elders and those that have gone on, they leave us with little snippets of information. They don't tell us everything we need to know about life and how to do it. They give us a word, they give us a sentence, or they give us maybe a few sentences, and it's up to us to figure it out. And sometimes it's like, well, can't you just tell me, like, is there not a formula, or is there not something? And it's like, nope, that's all you get. And then you have to sit and you have to figure it out. So, um, and I think that's the beauty of our elders, because I'm just thinking of Big Bead, how we just
Oh, yeah.
finished our special ceremonies. Our heart was there, but I wasn't sure about the border at the time, so I didn't know whether I could go or I couldn't. And but next year again, it'll be open. Yeah, it'll be open and to go. So, anyways, I can talk all night. I gotta share the words here. So, whoever would like to share next.
Well, I hope everyone has their water out tonight because you're
Mm,
sharing beautiful words, and the water takes in and absorbs all those kind words and those beautiful words, and so it becomes like your medicine. And so if you haven't got your water, can you bring your water and put it in a cup and sit with it while we're talking, and the water will feel the vibration of this love that we're sharing with everyone, and so it will be your medicine for afterwards, or you can share it with someone else that is going through hard times right now, but also to put out some water so that the grandmother can bless the water, um, bless this water that you have prepared. Um, the moon water is it's amazing, and there is a person that validated that the power of water, and that was Dr. Emoto. And I was doing a ceremony, and of all things, it came from a young man, because I said one day science is going to validate indigenous knowledge, how we believe the power of creation, how everything that was created has an energy that is to be guided with good words or be guided with negative words. And so um, that's why they always talk about having a good mind. And when you achieve that good mind, everything in your body resonates with so much love. And I think that's what people really need
mhm,
to hear is, you know, we're always looking for love, someone to love us. And we got a beautiful thing. It's called a mirror. Just go to that mirror and look at
mhm,
yourself. Look at yourself right in your eye and say, "Gosh, you're amazing. You are something special." And so, it brings out that big smile on your face, and next thing you're feeling, "Ooh, wow. Ooh, I feel good inside." And so you just that smile can be contagious. Then you turn around and you see somebody else, and you'll say hi, and then next thing you know, that vibration is being transferred to others. And just by doing that, looking at yourself in the mirror and say those words and say, "Awesome, you're great," and all those things, because that's a way of saying
mhm,
that you appreciate who you are. That's what we're looking for, is somebody to appreciate us. And so sometimes we have to, I'm, I always hear how a long time ago they didn't have a mirror, and they had this, they used to look in the river. And there was a story I'm going to share with you at this time. There was this woman, um, her husband had, had gone, this was a trading time now. And so he had gone to trade his furs, and the storekeeper said, "Well, your wife will like this," and it was the shape, and he said, "What is it?" And he says, "Oh, it's magic. If she looks into it, it's magic." And so he says, "What do you mean?" And so he picks it up. He goes, "Oh," he says, "that's not magic. That's scary." because So he says, I don't think, no, he says, no, I promise you, it's magic. He says, you just take it home and it'll be really good. And, um, and so he says, oh, okay, I'll do that. So he goes home and he unwraps his bundle what he had exchanged. And his beautiful wife looked in there, and she looked into the mirror, and she just burst out crying. And she went to running to her mother, and she said, oh, my husband found a new woman,
Oh,
a very beautiful woman.
Oh my
That's the
goodness.
story of that mirror, how it was to bring us in that good place. So every time, and isn't it amazing when they do the symbol of woman? It's like a mirror,
mhm.
mirror.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I'd share that with you.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Well, when I'm listening to both of you, what's coming into my mind and my heart is what I've been told recently by more than one person, and that is to be very much aware of self-care. Because as grandmothers and women, we have a way of giving so much of ourself that we sometimes lose track of the fact that we can only give what we have. And if we don't replenish that, if we don't take that time and that self-care, and I've been saying to people lately, we're always told, oh, it's not all about you. Yes, it is. It is all about us, because we can only give what we have. And so when I think about the water and our relationship with that water, and how we are, what is it, 90% water? I can't remember. I never can remember the actual percentage. But when we love the water within ourselves, that makes all the difference too. So we need to honor that, and honor ourselves with self-care. So someone was sharing with me this morning, they said, what we need to do is wake up in the morning, and the very first thoughts that come into our mind, and I have my little, I'm sure everybody has their little program that they follow, but that what we need to do is to remember to thank ourselves. Thank you for doing your best. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for having a desire to want to be busy doing what it is that we came here. It's like the mamos said, have you abandoned your dream? Because if you abandon your dream, that's the greatest sin that you can ever commit against yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I say to people, why did you come here? Why did you come to Earth? Do you remember? With all the chaos and the things that are happening now and all of our worries and our concerns, why did you come? Not me and not, whoever, but why did you? Why are you here? Remember your dream. And then remember that you can bring yourself into that place of fulfillment, that measure of fulfillment, by loving yourself, not in a egotistical, arrogant, whatever that all those other things are, but in the true way. And I remember somebody told me how when you leave this world, you separate from your physical body, and your physical body will stay here and return to the earth. Your spirit will move on, but one day we will reunite. And when we reunite, we're going to realize how much we loved our body. It's like a little kitty. It's like the best friend we ever had. You know, it's like our buddy. It's taking us where we want to go and helping us do things. So we have to remember to be kind and loving to it. And as we radiate that, then again, that shifts that general consciousness of the world so that others can get that way too. So I love how we're weaving, isn't it? Isn't that cool how we're all doing this? I just love you guys.
We love you. Yeah, we love you. And, you know,
Thank you.
it, and I have to say, there's pros and cons to things opening up. Part of it would be we would be doing this, and you wouldn't be able to join us because we would be at at a location as opposed to being able to have it streamed like this.
I
So,
love
I
this.
mean, we learn to adapt. We've adapted to everything, and that's just part of who we are. You know, we look at the circumstances and we adapt. If we don't adapt, well, then that's our fault, and we're in trouble. But we learn to adapt, and that's the beautiful part. And so, when I think of Grandma Moon, and I think of all that she's seen over time, all of the earth changes, all of the things that have happened because um, we don't know how old the earth is, and we don't know how old Grandma Moon is. We know our stories, and we don't even know how old their stories are, but we know that there's a very beautiful part of our stories that lives on and lives on and lives on, and it adapts. It adapts like 500 years ago, these stories would be all in the language, our native tongues. And now we have this beautiful language that we can all connect to, with our brothers and sisters around the world. We have that ability now to share in so many beautiful ways. And so everyone looks up at that moon, and everyone has stories, about um, about what they feel and what they see, and it's really exciting, to be able to go to those places and to share those stories and those ceremonies with our brothers and sisters everywhere. And I can remember in Poland that really powerful moon ceremony we did with our bird lady, and how powerful that moon was. I mean, we could literally put our hands up and touch her, it seemed,
Wow.
because Poland was like five hours, or Poland was is much further north, 55th parallel, I think. Where are we? The 49th? I think it's the 55th parallel. And I remember arriving, and we, due to circumstances beyond our control, got there late. And then I remember me and Grandma Marcia, we were up at 3 o'clock in the morning because the sun was coming up. And so we says, "Oh, we got to get ready for the day." And they go, "Why are you up so early?" And meanwhile, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. They say, "Oh, it's too early," So we had to adjust to that different influence of time. And that moon was so beautiful. It was like it was right there. And so we got to look at that moon, different a different eye an eye lens too. And everywhere we go, we've every travel that we've done, we've always kind of like used the moon to guide us, and the different parts of the moon to guide us and to guide our prayers, to guide our ceremonies, and that I think made them so much more. I wouldn't. Well, I don't know if powerful is the right word, because that kind of can be taken in many ways, but it made it more fulfilling, I guess, would be the word we're looking for. So those experiences we get when we're able to share is powerful too, because I remember I've had people say, "I love it when you share stories because I physically can't go there, but I can live through your stories." And I think that's really important that we kind of share those things, because people really do want to live, and they do it through our stories. And also that made us unique too, because that's the kind of people that our ancestors were. We shared our stories on a regular basis. So just like Guy Wheel, it's repeated every year at this time through the different longhouses. They get together and decide, what longhouses they're going to that are going to host, and it's just that sharing that we've been doing for forever. And even if you don't understand sometimes what these are about, there's an energy in the air, And so when that energy of the air, you can feel something really powerful and something beautiful. You know that there's something that's helping to create that. So that's being in the midst of those words, and it's like we stand here and we project out, just like with our technology here. Our words can project out to like faraway places, and so
Mhm.
that's
Right.
the way it is. Our energy has that opportunity to spread that faraway um, blessing. So, and then another important part about honoring grandma is, she needs to eat. And so even though we're not physically together, if if everyone can make an offering out to Grandma Moon, whether it be strawberries, whether it be berries, whether it be medicines, whatever it is, whether it be just prayers, just to um, give her that offering, so that she will continue to shine bright and to be our guiding light. And it's just like us. If we're not getting that attention that we need, we shrivel up. We shrivel up. And my poor puppy was sick, and she was like shriveling up. And so we had to like make her better. And now she's dancing around, and she's back to her spot. I had to go buy her a new bed. So I got her a new bed, and now she's just happy. She's jumping around, and she's got her spunk all back, and she's happy. And boy, if you need to be happy, just go get a new bed. I guess it worked for her. It might work for anyone who isn't feeling well. Look, little story, my cute little story there. So I don't know how long are we on tonight? Are we on? Are
Well,
we?
I time is going by so quickly, and I think Jody will be coming on shortly. But we just wanted to be with you at this time. If for anyone that is going through some challenging times, know that the grandmothers are here from the four directions, and what we're doing is we're sending off our love. Just understand, Grandmother Moon is she's making us human.
Mhm.
She's making us human because we're feeling it in our hearts, and they got labels today, and they call them anxiety and depression and all those things, but in reality it is just to clean your heart, to open up your heart. And
Mm.
it is because how they say, be careful of those labels. You're not none of those. You just lost touch with grandma, and grandma wants you to cry because she knows you've been carrying a lot. And so in our way, we always say, oh, grandma's visiting us. It used to be our moon time, but grandma's visiting us when we feel a lot of emotions. And grandma was good at, she'll say, okay, something's bothering you, and you would let it out instead of suppressing it by having medication or drugs or alcohol or whatever. Grandma wanted us to feel human, not robots, not to just ignore those feelings, was to let them out and become human. And that's what it is when we walk with Grandmother Moon. She wants you to get rid of a lot of crap. That's what my grandma said. She says she wants you to get rid of some of the crap you're carrying. And so if you do that on a regular basis, it's just like, I know my grandma would sit with me and she'll say, okay, what's wrong? Grandmas have a way of talking to you, and next thing you know, you're just crying. And so this is a very important part of your life. You're in ceremony when you're crying. You're in ceremony. You're acknowledging the most beautiful sacredness of who you are. You are a very special being that came to earth. So you still carry that heart, not all the mind. And so let's cry together. It's a ceremony. And so I know I'm going to be crying afterwards because I feel a lot of your heaviness. I feel this knot in my throat here because some of you are holding too much back. And it is because the vibration of the universe, it's touching all of us. We know how you're feeling. We know how you're feeling. And so I would like you to take a brush and just comb your hair. Just comb your hair right now and comb it. And so that you're letting, that's how we call having that good mind. Take away all those things that your mind is too busy. It's taking over what you should be. Let yourself cry, because that's the most important thing. Grandma came to us tonight was to remind us you are very special. Don't you ever forget it. You are very special. So how about using those tears to make yourself extra special, to be very well and to be at peace? And so these emotions, don't suppress them. Let them out. Even be like the Hulk, you know, let it out. I scare people when I do it. So it is a time of self-care. Grandma is here tonight for self-care. So um, I'm going to pass it over to Susan, Grandmother Susan, as we're getting towards the end.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to share something very quickly because Gail brought this to my attention about the offering to leave tonight for grandmother when she's there, and she'll be high above me soon. And I planted 120 strawberry plants, and
Oh,
3 deer ate them all, every single one of them, every single one. And I tried very hard not to get upset, but next year I'll have a better fence. I'll have a real fence. So what I'm going to leave tonight for grandmother, and Gail will recognize this, probably Renee too, is that every year when we go to our big bead ceremonies, the girls who have not yet begun their moon time, they grind the corn. And one of the times that we went, they had found some kernels of corn that were tested and tested out to be hundreds and hundreds of years old. They planted them, and I have here in my bag some of that corn that had been ground by those beautiful young girls during the 4 days of ceremony for us. So I want to share this with you, with everyone here. This is a pinch of that corn. And I want to share it with you because whether our medicine is strawberry or corn or water or all of them, all these medicines are loved and kissed by our grandmother moon. And my favorite story from down in the Southwest is how, if you look very carefully, you'll see a rabbit sitting in the moon, and he's got his knees up and his head down and his long floppy ears. So you watch for him, and he loves corn. So I'm sharing this with each of you, my grandmother's sisters and Jody and everyone else on the call with us. And tonight I will take it out and share it with our grandmother as well. So thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for allowing me to come on here with you and to let you know that I do totally and totally love you. And thank you, Jody, for all that you did to put me on the air. I love you. I love you all. Thank you.
aw.
Aw, I love you all. I'm sitting in the back room. Sometimes I just feel like pushing the button and popping in. I because it's like, I'm laughing and I'm crying and I'm reflecting and I'm remembering, the times that I met you ladies and my life changed. It changed, and you taught me how to be more respectful to myself, you know, and remembering that I do have purpose, and we do this live to share this knowledge, to inspire people, to elevate this knowledge so that we can reach as many people as possible, so that we can share this love and peace. And, there was a time that this wasn't allowed. And listen, Gail, to you talking about the ceremonies, as an urban Indigenous woman who's not really, I haven't been in the longhouse. I've been in for a social, but there was a time where I craved to do that, but just knowing that that is happening in a good way in the communities, it just makes me feel so happy that you're healing and the people are healing. And I know that, my time will come, but I also know that I do this in my own community in my own way because of the teachings that you have shared with me. And I'm grateful. And it doesn't have to be any specific way. You're showing us and reminding us that we have it in however we prepare it for ourselves in our own space that we make sacred, which is our bodies, that we have this within ourselves to be well. And so I'm so grateful for all of you. You're so beautiful.
Mm.
I'm so happy. Go on, go on. I can't wait. We need to do a big grandma's retreat, like at this, at a big venue. I've always shared that with you ladies, right? That
Yes,
we just need
I
a
agree.
big, like, and a big moon next year or something. Like, but I know I just want to share too that these women, for those of you that are watching, what I found so amazing about these women is that they've been traveling for decades. Sometimes I want to say centuries, but it's not
That's a
you.
nice way of
I
saying
know. It's been happening for centuries. That the women have been traveling to other communities. They travel to other communities to help heal communities and the people. And you've preserved our culture, and this message, and this is the time. We're in a time that we can speak of this in it, and we can speak about love in any space, I believe, from a corporate space to any space. Today I was watching my son walk into the airport to go to school, and I turned and I saw it was like everyone was hugging each other in this one moment, and it was so beautiful. And so that's what I see you women bring to our communities, and I'm just so grateful that I'm in this circle.
Well, we're grateful that
So
you bring us into this circle, Miss Jody.
Yes, yes. Thank you for the circle. Yes.
mhm. So I hope that we'll see everyone again next month, because we had at some point 30 something people on, and with us
Wow.
virtually. And so, as the weather becomes colder, it is hard for us to gather in person, and this allows us to bring, people from afar. Mary Jane spoke with me. Gail, a couple of people have called me and said, "How do I get on this chat?"
Yeah.
And so, the people are coming, and so hopefully we can do this again over the winter virtually,
Mm.
and also just watch on Grandmother's Voice for still doing the paint nights that are virtual. Moses is amazing, and we'll just stay in touch.
Jody, I think that's so important. We have 18,000 women on our grandmother's page, and they're all, wanting to do more. That's what I keep getting the messages. And so um, I say, I had such a hard time. As you teach me, then I'll be able to express it to people that are like me and can't figure it out. And then that way we'll be able to get them on. I think it's really important, just like you're saying, we're getting ready to shut down and stay inside our home. So it's good that we can connect like this, and I want my
Hmm.
sisters to be able to share their messages. So just
Hmm.
I'll do whatever I need to do to help you to bring this to happen with our page.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do that. Would you like to add
Well,
anything before we say see you?
I don't know. I'm just feeling the love. That's all I can say. I'm just feeling the happiness and the joy, and I feel like dancing, and all that kind of stuff. And
Hmm.
better get guitar so I can sing, sing that joy and happiness, and yeah. Well,
I love
we
it.
always end up having to say see you later. Of course, none of our languages have what is termed goodbye because whether it's later in this life or the next, we're just going to see each other at another time. So, Grandma, would you like to do our closing since you did the opening?
Susan.
Oh, me?
Okay.
Oh, I would love to.
Oh, me?
Okay. I just want to bring my little beautiful snowy wolf, and I'm not going to sing or anything, but I want you to know that he's been here with us and he leads and I follow him and he takes me to wonderful places. And so if any of you meet the wolf in the dream time tonight, know that he's the kindest guy there is and he's a wonderful healer and that's his role is to take us into that. So I will close with prayer. Kiakua, grandfather, grandmother, as we now close once again this beautiful gathering on the night of our full moon, our grandmother moon. Thank you so much for the opportunity that we had to be together to share our waters with one another through the breath, the in breath and the out breath, through the tears that our beloved grandmother Renee spoke about, and through those dreams and desires that we have to be who we came here to be. We're thankful for that. As we move out into the 28-day cycle now, we're grateful to be able to also share in that part of our circles and the squares on our grandmother turtle so that she reminds us that we all keep moving forward with our songs and our stories and the wonderful teachings that have been passed down to us. And thank you. Thank you, Mahalo Nui Loa. Thank you for all that we have been given. Aho, aloha kea kua kuleana aho.
Susan, you're making me want to go to Hawaii.
I know. Am I doing
I
that? I
know.
hope so, because they're and
Guess
so
what? We can fly.
Scott
We
On
can
the count of three, let's go. One,
ready.
2, 3.
2, 3.
Hawaii.
Yes.
Hawaii. I'll be a helper.
I will check on that place where we stay, Malai Kahana. It's so inexpensive and it's right on the ocean. You open the door and there's the sand and the water. I will check on that for us. Thank you. We'll have fun.
Yeah. Yes, Hawaii. Woo.
Yawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get
Yeah.
there.
Good night,
Okay,
everyone.
See you.
Till next time. Yeah.